Today on 15 on 15.
Prime Minister Mike Amon announces the 6th annual Green Conference. Plus, find out what is the best wine to pair with the warm weather. And the much-awaited artist project in public spaces. Thank you for joining us. You are watching 15 on 15 on Channel 15 ATV with Daniela Piazzi. Minister Mike Amon has just announced the 6th Green Conference that will be held on the island in October. The Green Conference presents a vision for sustainability on the island. 6 years back, when the conference was just announced, we had never expected that our island would be so developed to cater to the environment, and it has now received very much attention from around the globe for this movement. Minister Mike Amon hopes the island will be running completely on sustainable energy by 2020. The main focus of the conference last year was to bring solar panels at the airport parking lot, and now that the project has been completed, it contributes to 4% of the total energy on the island, and also is a great way to keep the parked cars in shade. Another project that will soon be introduced is the waste to gas. Instead of bringing all the island's garbage to the local dump, the company Ecotech will be actually turning the garbage into energy. This alone will cover up to 8% of the island's energy consumption. On the other side, we will also be able to eliminate the dump completely. Moving on, the Aruba Tourism Authority, together with the Department of Culture, is working together to develop the cultural side of the community. Many projects will be unfolding within the next several months to stimulate both visitors and locals to be more curious about our island's rich history. The Aruba Tourism Authority, together with the Department of Culture, are being very active to present creative ideas to attract visitors. ATA hopes Aruba will one day have artistic experiences in town just like many cities worldwide. There are many cultural projects in store for the future. The focus for the upcoming ones will be in St. Nicholas. Another project of ATA that is in full swing is the informational booths. We stopped by to find out how the tourists are reacting to the program. The information officer's idea was launched not more than 6 months ago, and now they have their own booth and are already expanding. The workers there really believe that they are bringing a big chance to the way visitors see the island.
A point of reference for the tourists, so they have some place to come and for sure get some information about the island, so it definitely helps, yes.
The participants go through an intense 2-day training for customer service and island facts.
We got a 2-day course of training. The first was like the communication part, how to communicate with people. And the second part was to how to work with the iPad to search information, and that's crucial for giving people the right information also. So we basically have to learn about the island also, the key parts of the island, like the tourist attraction parks and stuff like that.
The booths are spread out throughout the island to ensure the best service to tourists in need of guidance.
Currently we're working here in the main street. We have one booth. We also have from the ATA 2 booth in the cruise terminal, and also we're working on getting a booth in the Palm Beach area as well. So we currently also work in the Palm Beach area. So yeah, it's definitely a good thing to have. We get a lot of questions at the booth, so yeah, it definitely works.
Don't go anywhere, because when we come back, you will find out from the experts how to drink wine. After the break, find out what an expert's take is on wine pairing. Welcome back from the break. Many of us have wondered what the right way is to drink wine. It can get pretty complicated for a beginner to pair the right wines with a meal, or even just to simply choose a drink for the hot weather. Well, we sat down with wine experts to see how they could get help. This representative came down from Wente Vineyard in California to give lectures to food and beverage industry managers on the proper way to serve and pair wines.
Purpose for Aruba this time was to kind of educate the island on Chardonnay, to kind of show people that California is a Chardonnay grape varietal, and it's one of the most popular varietals in California, and we're producing about 100,000 acres of land that's dedicated just to the Chardonnay grape.
Being on the island that has warm climate 365 days a year, is there a specific brand or type of wine that would be more refreshing?
I mean, there's many wines that you can drink in climates like this. I mean, you can drink a beautiful white wine, a beautiful red wine. Just we have to make sure the temperature of the wine is always nice and cool and very fresh. Today we focus on Chardonnay. Anytime in the summer, as long as the temperature is nice, around 40 degrees, you can drink a nice Chardonnay sitting on the beach or sitting at a restaurant. Wente also produces a Sauvignon Blanc. It's a nice grape varietal for fresh and crispiness, and it's great for the summertime.
The owner of Arion Wine Company explains that the best way for a beginner to get into drinking wine is to explore a lot and probably to start with a good appetizer.
It's not so easy. As Jason mentioned too, I think getting started drinking wine is exploring a lot. And sometimes, you know, when you browse the shelves of the supermarket or just a wine list at a restaurant, and you order something that's not right away what you had in mind, then make sure you have some food with it. So wine is changing the moment you have a little bite with it. There's a lot of Dutch cheese on the island. I think that's a great match with especially red wines, but sometimes with white wines as well. So I think stepping into the world of wines is exploring a lot.
You can be expecting many more informational segments about wine and other foods and how exactly to pair them together the right way. So make sure to tune in next week to learn more about it. Don't go anywhere because when we come back, you will meet the Blue Horses. When we come back, meet the local artists that will take you back to the 18th century. Welcome back from the break. The Pardon By project by the contemporary artist Osaira Moyale has just been exhibited this morning. This is a first step in many to educate the public about the culture history the island has. The Department of Culture, together with ATA and artist Osaira Moyale, have premiered the first of 8 Blue Horses that will be appearing throughout the next 2 weeks in several parts of downtown to raise curiosity about the Aruba's past.
I have to say that I was invited a little bit more than a year ago by Ms. Osaira Moyale in this case, and we visited her workplace, and I have to say it was beautiful. The idea of bringing back culture, history, a little bit of the heritage of Aruba, and that gave us also, and part of the whole strategy and policy of the ministry and the government was to bring more of our culture, mix this up with our tourism, and make sure that not only our people but also those visiting the island will get to know much more about Aruba.
The new downtown project, Horse Bay, derives from the Aruba and European trade, commerce, and economy in the 18th century. Aruba and Europe were into cattle exchange, and horses were brought down from Venezuela and Colombia. The Ministry of Culture hoped to be able to educate the public about the island's history.
This is exposition actually of what is ours to our visitors. But I realized during the process of making these kind of public arts that even our own people, and I have to include myself, didn't know so much about the history of our culture and our principles and where we come from actually.
The artist was inspired by her childhood, which was very much filled with horses. She has been working on the project for 2 years now, and each sculpture is made from fiberglass, which is resistant to salt and water. Osaira hopes the art will bring a dialogue amongst the public about the island's past.
Started 2 years ago, and as in the process of the work, I have encountered Pardon By, which I went to ask myself why the name Pardon By, because I was working with horses at that time. And then I encountered myself with very beautiful information that I received here in the bibliothèque, and I started reading, and I was amazed how much information there is about this name Paardenbaai.
You may be curious why the horses are blue. Well, Miss Moyales states that her horses have just come out of the water, and the color symbolizes the Atlantic Ocean. This project is an invitation for Aruba to connect with our present and our past and to think about Aruba's history.
The Paardenbaai story because the name represents a lot of history of our identity, and that's why it interested me, because art is about identity. It's a communication middle, and that's why I did all the research and shared this with Aruba.
We will be keeping you updated on the developments of this project. It is planned to have new blue horses to be appearing in different areas of town every 2 days, so be sure to stay tuned. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to tune in tomorrow at 7:15 p.m. on channel 15 ATV for your daily dose of local news and Aruba lifestyle topics.